What's going on, guys? I'm going to be helping you out with a couple tips I can give you to become a quicker GTA racer. So tip number one is hot lapping. So make sure you've got a track and car combo that you are comfortable with. It doesn't necessarily have to be a quick car that handles really well. Sometimes the more difficult combos can also challenge how you handle oversteer and all that. Like an example, the Pierce Forcer Dominator in the city. That's typically known for being a somewhat difficult car if you haven't got experience with the car. So that can be good practice for you. I wouldn't advise using cars that have handling flags or are really bouncy. Examples being the Swinger and the Viserys and the Entity XXR. I'd stay away from those cars and just stick with any car that just hasn't got the bouncy flags on it. Like pretty much most of the old cars in the game, they feel the best, in my opinion at least. And those cars usually work well to practice brake boosting and short shifting. So yeah, hot lapping's an excellent way because you're having to push yourself, or if you're keen to improve, you're pushing yourself each time you do a lap to improve upon your best time. And if you got competition in the time trial, that's even better because you're striving for times quicker than others. Another thing is racing in general. You want to be racing with quicker drivers. You don't want to be stuck racing with the same group, whether that being randoms or just a casual group that doesn't take racing too seriously. You want to be racing with the very best. That might not always be possible, but just try your best to, because it definitely does help. You may learn a couple tips and tricks off them, and if you have quicker players to race against, you're pushing yourself a lot harder to try and keep up with them. Tip number 3 is make sure you've got all your cars set up so that you're really comfortable with the way it drives. So some people don't care about race builds and they just want it to look good, which is understandable. But if you're really serious about racing, definitely try and get a race build for all your cars, and one that you're comfortable with. So you don't always have to listen to what other top drivers suggest with their customizations. Just pick something you're comfortable with, because you'll perform a lot better if you have a build you're comfortable with. So if you don't know already, you can customize your car in a way that it may handle better, for you at least, and that can be done by adding weight in certain areas of the car, or changing up your wheels, changing up the paint job, the number plate, even the exhaust pipe. That doesn't alter handling the exhaust pipe, but it helps you with short shifting if you use the stock exhaust. I won't go too in depth into car customization because there's a lot of resources out there. I'll probably link in the description. But yeah, make sure you got a good race build. Here are a couple of my sport cars, and a lot of them don't have very many body modifications applied. It's so that they feel a bit lighter and a little more nimble to drive. And a couple of my cars I have duplicates of. So I've got like a outside city build for this 9F, and this is like a city build for the 9F. So I've got a couple duplicates of some of these cars where I've got a build depending on where you race on the map. So that can be something you can do. Now lastly, I want to talk about driving over the dirt to your advantage. So as you can see in the clip here, I drove over a fair bit of dirt to carry a lot of speed around the corner. It doesn't slow you down as much as you may think, so it can be a good strat, especially in the hills where there's a lot of dirt and nearby the roads. You can often corner cut a little bit and you may go over a little bit of dirt, but it usually is worth corner cutting slightly to get a better line. And entering corners as well, you can come off the track a little bit and have two wheels on the dirt before entering the corner, and that way you can get a wider line.